Everybody, Rich with Prep U down here in the pantry playroom. Used to be the bunker. Made a few changes, kind of split up some of our stuff. I know we've talked about it before. Make sure you always have your stuff together, but it's not like I have to go a half mile to get to all the other prepping stuff, and this makes it a lot easier for my wife to come down to the pantry in case we don't have something upstairs, and then she writes it down on a list, and then we replace it. Hey, this video is called Best Foods to Stockpile Lists. All right. Right off the bat, don't worry about having to write any of this stuff down. I am going to put it on our Facebook page, PrepU, and you can go there and get it off of our Facebook page. But the reason I'm doing this video, I've done these videos in the past, is a whole great stockpiling playlist that you can go to. I suggest that you go to that because it has all kinds of other lists on there, stuff that you might want. And don't forget, this is just a primer for you to think about the foods you like. Maybe you don't like that type of mustard, or maybe you don't like this kind of soup, you know? So you're going to basically, provide what you need, what your kids like, what your wife likes, what people that may have to come to your house to survive, what they need. Don't forget about them. Your kids, your grown-up kids, maybe they have kids, means you're a grandfather or grandmother or whatever. You need to make sure that you have food for them. So, like I said, don't worry about writing this stuff down. Because I'm not going to hold up a list. I'm not going to do that. It's kind of silly. My notes are all messed up this time. But anyhow, so the reason we're doing this video, the last couple of videos we talked about being prepared. What's going on in the world, what may go on here in our country coming up, we don't know. But you need to be self-sufficient, all right? And now is the time to do it. I know everything's super expensive. It's crazy. Excuse me, it's crazy. Some people can barely have enough money just to feed their families right now. But if you just look for sales, buy the stuff on sale, and get a couple extras. We're a little low on a few things. We're going to be going, make a major trip to Sam's Club and then Costco, because some stuff we like at Costco, some stuff we like at Sam's Club. We're going to make a major purchase. It's also because it's also becoming winter. Well, let's face it, there's a lot of times you can't get out in the winter. We've been lucky around here in the Midwest. It hasn't been all that bad. But some of you get bad winters. And it doesn't necessarily have to be snow. Where my wife's from, it was always ice storms. And they were so severe that there'd be 2-3 inches of ice on the roads. Nobody was going anywhere and the power lines were down. So there was a lot of concern about that. So beyond food and water, obviously generators are real important. If you're new to an area, ask your neighbors, hey, what do you do to prepare? I mean, how's the winter here? How are the summers? It could be the other way around. What are storms like? And all that kind of stuff. But without further ado, I do want to say right off the bat, if you're really not into all this and you've seen some of these lists before, I encourage you to stay to the end of the video because we've got a great little tip on how to save your food and make it last longer, and so it doesn't go bad and you eat bad food. You don't want to do that because you can get really, really sick, and depending on other ailments, it basically could kill you. Bad food can kill you. So without further ado, let's get into this. Right off the bat, I want to bring up the point that we are not talking about survival food. We're not going to be talking about survival food at all, other than what I'm about to say. You need some. Okay, I don't care how much you have. You need probably a month's worth of food per person of survival food, because a lot of the stuff that we're going to talk about may not last all that long, especially the one list that we have that we'll get to last is what do you buy just before the event or right after the event that's causing you to go out and stock up. Okay, these are things that other people aren't gonna need because maybe they have it or they need all this stuff. Okay, so let's get into this. Okay, best canned meats to stockpile: ham, corned beef, chicken, spam. I love spam with a nice vegetable medley in the skillet. Fantastic. Turkey, beef chunks, ground beef, meatball. Okay, don't get mad at me, but haggis. Yeah, haggis. You can get haggis in a can, believe it or not. Elk meat, which is really good. Vienna sausage. I used to get Vienna sausage from my mom as a care package when I was in college, man. We just burned through that stuff. Pork, pork pate, and of course, tuna. You cannot go wrong with tuna unless you don't like it. But if you don't like tuna, and this tuna is such an important food because it is so good for you. Let me show you something real quick. And no, right off the bat, anything I show you, I'm not sponsored by them. But here is Tuna Creations Hot Buffalo from Starkist. Okay, they have all other kinds of stuff, and this is, let's see if I can find it real quick. This is used by January 19th, 2026. Great, great stockpiling food. It's also great for your lunch. But I mean, they've got this, they've got the hot buffalo. Then you can go with another company. Here's Bumblebee. It comes with a spoon, sun-dried tomato. It's not bad. It's not as good as the hot stuff. I like hot food, spicy food. But tuna is really, really important. So if you don't like regular tuna, you can still buy regular tuna and you could just get hot sauce, okay, and mix it in with your, sriracha or whatever you want. That's a great way to do it. But these are all really good foods. You want to go, with your spam and, like I said, your Vienna sausages and your chicken, and we've got a bunch of other meats and stuff like that in here. Yeah, we're gonna stock up. So that's best canned meats to stockpile. Best canned foods in general. Okay, this is a list, and I got these from various different websites. So best canned foods to stockpile: tomatoes. Tomatoes are great to stockpile. You can get them all in you got your paste, you got your diced, and you got your sauce. You can go with the smaller cans, larger cans. If you want to know how long these cans will last beyond the date, got a great video, talks about how long, with a test with the military, the Army, as a matter of fact, did a test on canned foods. And the larger cans can last up to 25 years beyond their best by date. Okay? That's absolutely incredible. I think if you are a Walking Dead fan, I can remember when they were opening up cans of pudding and eating them 2 years after the date because they read the date and they go, eat it anyhow. It's fine. It's good. Always do not buy dented cans and do not keep any cans that are starting to rust. It just means, especially with tomatoes, it actually means that the acid is eating through it. Okay, so tomatoes, diced, crushed, whole, sauce, paste. Beans are really important. Chickpeas, again, there's going to be some things that are going to go through on each list. So tuna, again, tuna made this list, number 4. Chicken, salmon. I'm not a big salmon guy. I've got it. Okay, if need be, the hot sauce is going in. Okay, spam. Spam is just great all the way around. There are some countries in Europe and Korea that sell more spam per person in those countries than they do in the United States, which is America. I'm sure that's all the military influence. Chilies, all kinds of chilies. It's great to have chilies. I don't have chilies here. I should. And the only reason is because my wife makes absolutely fantastic chili, which is in the freezer, which we're going to go to in a little bit here. Soups, all kinds of soups. Not only soups that you're going to eat straight up, but soups for making other things. I mean, there's like cream of mushroom, and there's cream of chicken, and different kinds of soup. And then there's, chicken noodle and vegetable and tomato. I don't like tomato. Other people in my family like tomato. I just never acquired a taste for it. Um, corn. Corn is great in a can. You can see over here pointing to this. Okay, so beans and corn are over here. A bunch of it. Green chilies. Green chilies are great to cook with. And fruit in a can, obviously, you've got to have that vitamin C. Don't want to get scurvy. And then coconut milk is great to have because it is a great substitute, and it really works great with cooking. Coconut milk will last a lot longer. Also, you can get dried milk, but we are talking about canned food, not boxed foods. So that's really important. And you go, well, Rich, do you really keep these well beyond their date? I don't, because in our area, we have a lot of different organizations. We have a lot of food pantries and stuff like that. So if the food gets close to like not quite 6 months, say 8 months, 7 months, I'll bag all that stuff up and I'll take it to the food pantry because I know that stuff's going to be used right away. Then I just buy more. I always keep a track of everything I have. I always keep an inventory of everything I have. What you really need to do is keep an inventory. But my mainstay of the food that I'm going to survive on is still going to be this stuff. Everything else is really nice to have. It makes it nice and convenient. Um, but to have all this stuff is a little bit of everything so that you have good food for 30, 60, 90 days is really important. All right, found a couple lists on the internet that make a lot of sense, and especially this number one. This is best foods for survival to stockpile. And the number one on this list, I think anybody that's been prepping long enough are going to go spot on. Maybe you already know what I'm talking about, but peanut butter. Peanut butter is really good. It's high in proteins. It's got good oils in it. I prefer the natural. Unfortunately, the natural stuff, once you open it, it's got to go in the refrigerator. Skippy, I've never put Skippy or Jif or anything like that in a refrigerator, and it's just fine. It's just absolutely perfect. But it's really good to have around. It's a great survival food. And with that, you want to have some kind of crackers. And you want to go with a whole wheat cracker or a cracker you like. If there's whole wheat crackers you don't like, don't buy them. Buy what you like. Buy a Triscuit. Buy a Wheat Thin. Buy a Ritz. I love Ritz. Club crackers are really good. Oh, club crackers are really good. Huh. Anyhow, along with that, for your survival foods, nut and trail mixes. Nut and trail mixes. Always have that around because it's got some really good stuff in there. When we were at Philmont, the 2 times we were out there, that was that was the best. You were a little hungry, nut and trail mix in the mouth. Way you go. You could get those last 2 miles in for the day. Cereals are great. Again, with that, you probably want to have something to mix it up with. I like dry cereal. A lot of the sugary cereals, I don't like it because it messes my milk up. But probably with this, you're going to want to have some powdered milk that you can mix up real quick and add to it, or buy a cow. Granola bars and power bars are always good to have around. Dried fruits are fantastic. I love apricots. I love raisins. All that stuff is really good. Canned tuna, chicken, salmon, or turkey. See, there we go. It's starting to pop up again. We're talking about best foods for survival. Canned vegetables, canned beans, canned soups, chilies, dry pastas, and sauces. Plenty of dry pastas. They last for freaking ever. Okay? They just do. They just last absolutely forever. Sauces, you can have pre-made sauces or you can make your own. My wife makes her own. Absolutely fantastic. She's a really good chef when it comes to cooking on the stove and cooking in the stove too. Bottled water is a must. Remember, gallon of water per day per person that you're going to want to have on hand. You've seen it before. You've seen the kind of amount of water that we have. We're running probably 40 gallons of 1 gallon jugs. Plus, we always keep about 3 to 5 cases of bottled water in case we need it. It really comes in handy. Do not carry water that's in plastic and leave it in your car in the summer. It overheats. Chemicals seep out of the plastic, get into the water, and it's just not good for you. You know, you can have plastic water bottle in the car if it's there a day, day and a half, but you don't want it there hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold. And it's in the other room, but it is getting that time of the year to pull the canned water out of your emergency kits out of your car and put in your Mylar emergency freezable water packs. Okay, it's just the same amount of water. It's a bigger Mylar pack. It allows it to freeze and freeze and unfreeze, and it doesn't burst the Mylar. Like the cans, they're full, and if they get frozen, they pop that top or they bust the seam right out, and then it thaws, and then you got all kinds of problems. So also along with the bottled water, sports drinks and fluid replacements. Fluid replacements is obvious. The sports drinks or the little, I think it's Milo. I carry them at work. Sometimes water is really bland. A couple of squirts and you're good to go. I prefer the watermelon. Powdered milk was on the list. Spices are absolutely mandatory. We're talking salt, pepper, sugar, taco seasoning. Believe it or not, if I can find it here, taco seasoning is one of the best things to keep on hand, okay? Because it seasons everything. That black pepper is really good. A hot sauce is really good to have around that you can mix that around. But taco seasoning, from what I've seen, talking to different people, it's like the #1 spice that preppers or survivalists will keep because it just gives such a good flavor to anything that it's added to. And then multivitamins, vitamins for survival too. I prefer Balance in Nature. I keep Balance in Nature. I actually have, I always keep like about a 6 months supply. I ordered extra, so I have a 6 month supply. I tell you what, I'm 66, going to be 67. I know when I don't take my Balance in Nature. Okay, it's really good to have. You should try it, and it isn't really that expensive. All right, so you have all your stuff, and you are keeping aware of your surroundings, and you know an event's coming, or it just happened. You have time. You have that extra cash that you kept with you, or you have that card that you just use for an emergency. Okay, if you got to run out and buy stuff. What do you buy that's short-term shelf life right before or after the event that's happened? All right, so let's talk about a few things. Apples. Apples are absolutely fantastic. What's nice about apples is they will last up to 3 months, all right, in a cool, dark, dry spot. If you keep them in the refrigerator, they'll probably last longer. But my uncle owned an apple orchard in Paw Paw, Michigan, and he kept apples forever in cold, dry storage. All right. And a lot of those he would end up making into cider later on. Good cider. Although I wasn't old enough to get the really good cider. But also citrus fruits. Citrus fruits last up to at least 2 weeks without refrigeration. So if you lost the power, avocados, absolutely fantastic. Buy non-ripe ones. So you can buy some ripe ones, buy some really non-ripe ones, and they'll last a little bit longer. Once they're ripe, they last about a week. You know, so, but avocados are really good for you. Tomatoes, buy unripened tomatoes if you can find them. They'll last a little bit longer. Some other things to buy. Potatoes, sweet potatoes and yams, really good for you. Taste really good. Cook up really good. Cucumbers and summer squash, really good stuff. You can buy winter squash. The winter squash will last for months, but the thing about winter squash is you have to cook it. It's inedible unless you cook it. You have to absolutely cook it. Hard packaged sausages, and we've all seen them in the store where they're hanging up, or they're, you look at them and you go, ah, it looks like it's encased in salt, which it is. Okay, it's really good. You get that like in the specialty cheese and meat area. You'll find some. So hard packaged sausages, unopened, they'll last up to 6 weeks. So that's something you're going to want to grab right when you know something's going to happen. I mean, if they're saying, the snowstorm of the century, or power grid is having issues, and get out and get what you can. Hopefully, you can get in the stores and get this stuff. But those are the lists that we had. What to buy right before the emergency. Best canned meats to stockpile. Best canned foods to stockpile, and best foods for survival to stockpile. And again, I'm not going to show you the list on this video. I'm going to put them next couple of days when I get some time. I'm going to be putting these lists on the Prep U Facebook site. So you can go right to there. You can pull the list right off of that. All right, so I asked you to stay to the end of the video. So here we are. We're almost at the end of the video, but now I'm going to show you something. This has to do with freezers. Okay, I'm going to show you a little trick. Everybody's got a freezer. Okay, everybody goes on vacation. Everybody goes out of town. Here's a trick I'm going to show you. So what we're going to do, it's going to be a little bumpy. Sorry about it. Hope you guys don't get motion sickness, and gals don't get motion sickness. But we are going to take a walk through my basement, which isn't very big, so it won't take very long. So, but the basement's kind of in flux right now because we're doing all kinds of stuff. But we're going to leave this room. Oh, we're going to step over Lil. Sorry, Lil. And come through the family room and say hi to Shiloh. There's Shiloh. Where's Lily? No, there's Lil. Hi, Lil. All right, so we're going to make our way around to the back. And this is, like I told you, this is where the new bunker is, right there. Here's the new bunker. All right, it's kind of a absolute mess right now, but it's all there. I can get to it. I know where everything is. But here we are outside the family freezer. Okay, so freezer foods. All right, there is a trick to find out if you were gone and lost power. Okay, it's really a very cool little trick, and I'm going to show you the trick that's inside of here. So let's say you get home and you go, oh, no problem, it still works, it's no big deal. You open it up and you go, oh, good, sweet, the quarter's still on top of the frozen water. Because what I did was I put this cup, filled it with water, put it in the freezer, put a quarter on top of it. Okay, if you see that quarter sitting on top and you heard from your neighbors that you lost power, well, if it looks like this, you didn't lose power very long, or you have a really good freezer. Okay, and you don't have to worry about it. Didn't thaw out. But what if you get to this one and went, oh, where's the quarter? Quarter's on the bottom. So what does that tell you? All this that was ice turned to water, quarter sunk to the bottom, and then it refroze. Which means your food totally thawed because it's all the way on the bottom. So you have to make the decision is, do you keep it or not? Or you come back and you go, okay, where's the dang quarter? I don't know if you can, oh yeah, you can see it. You can see that little line right there. What happened was the quarter was sitting on top and everything started to thaw out quarter went down to here, and then it refroze. So your food probably didn't totally, thaw out. But then you're going to have to look at the food that you have in your freezer. If it's chicken, it's out of here. Or if you got some other goofy stuff in there, it's out of here. Chances are, like the other stuff, like a lot of the stuff that my wife has made, like the soups and the chilies and different stuff like that, or the already cooked meat, like there's cooked shredded chicken, cooked ground beef, different items that are in there that would just be used in cooking. You can keep all that stuff. Probably didn't thaw out. And of course, if you come home and you don't see anything in there, or it says 54 degrees, you're probably going to go, crap. And then you're going to find this. You're going to come in here and you're going to go, oh yeah, there's the quarter on the bottom, and it's water. So that's a great little trick. Like I said, that is the cup of water with the quarter on top. And you're going to find out exactly what happened if you went on vacation and they lost power, if you were just gone for a day or two, or you went to work and came back. A lot of the modern day freezers are really good. They're really insulated. I remember growing up, my mom said, don't open and close and see what's in there. Just keep it closed, figure out what you need. If you've got the really nice new refrigerators, it will actually tell you, it will give you a time display of how long the power was out, what the temperatures went to. The other good thing about some of those refrigerators is you can actually see what's inside without actually opening up an inner door, so the kids can find what they want and go from there. So, but that's the trick. I really appreciate you staying to the end to watch this little tidbit. I think it's going to save you some food, save you some hassles. Another comment in regards to refrigerators. If a fridge gets above 40 degrees for 2 hours, don't eat the food in there. Okay, the lunch meat, the cheeses are probably fine. Some other things are really good, but there's probably a lot of food in there that you're going to want to get rid of. But that's it. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you have any comments, questions, please let me know. I love comments and questions. It helps the algorithms. And then if you liked the video, please let me know that you liked the video. Click on it, say that you liked it. That helps out. Lets me know that I'm actually doing something good and it's helping everybody out. Let me know if you want to see different videos on different things regarding, prepping and survival, camping. We do a lot of camping in our family. And also please check out our playlists. Our playlists are really cool. We've grouped videos together to help you figure out what you want to see, where you want to go with it, and stuff like that. It also gives a list, so you go, no, 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 yes, yes, no, no, yes. Or you just play the whole damn thing, which is also nice. So anyhow, thank you for watching, subscribers. Thank you for being subscribers. Really appreciate it. As we always say at the end of our video, always be aware of your surroundings, which our next video is going to be a video on what do I mean by always be aware of your surroundings. That's our next video. But we also want to tell you, always make sure you have plenty of food, water, medicine, ammunition to shelter in place 3, 6, 9 months, or if you have to bug out, 72 hours of food. If you're bugging out, water, medicine, take your medicine with you. And also, always prep like your life depends on it, because it really does. We appreciate you. Thanks for watching. See you next time.